I like to sit back. Oh, hey, sorry. Welcome to the weekly reading. It is the Joyful Yogini. Um, Come on, Gracie. Here, come on. Move over here. There. There we go. Oh, it's a nice warm seat. It's awesome. Um, so you just get a mop on my head today. I didn't even brush my hair yet. I had a shower and it is a naughty mess. Like it is just I didn't have time. I would have needed at least an extra 10 minutes just to try to brush through my hair. Oh, I got my clips here, I just noticed, ready to get it all coiffed up. But just not right now. You get to see me as is. So this is what you got. Not that you really care, right? Okay, so for the weekly reading, I'm going to pull cards from my Archangel deck. There we go. How was your weekend? Mine was, I had a ton of fun on Saturday night. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had some fun within your weekend. I think pretty sure it was during the weekend or the weekend reading. Yeah, that I was saying, okay, got to get some play in there. Got to have some fun. Got to let that creativity flow. So I had a ton of fun with a couple of friends of mine. That included hot tub, maybe or maybe not some edibles, maybe or maybe not a bottle of wine. I normally don't drink as much as I did, but yeah, it was fun. So when I was doing my yoga this morning, I made sure that I was like, okay, let's get the liver, people. We're going to be working at getting that liver going. Sunday, I spent the majority of the day trying to figure out how to change the door handles on my bedroom door. It's not quite accomplished yet, but I do have a friend that's coming over this afternoon to be able to help me out with that. I'm hoping that I can get this door thing resolved. And what was quite funny, just okay, hold on. I'm going to set the intention here for these cards to provide us with messages for these next 7 days. So I'm doing this reading on Monday, January the 24th, and this is going to go right until January the 30th. Okay, so we have some cards that wanted to come out. Yeah, so I had some help with friends, DMing back and forth, sending pictures and everything. They sent me some videos that I was watching, and I was able to figure out at least how to get the old lock off. And it didn't have screws on the outside, so I had to like pry it off and everything. But I did it, and I was very, very proud. And then, but putting the other one back on, something about the screws, like it's not fitting in right. And so by the end, I said, fuck it. I tried so many things in so many different ways. And then I have a friend that's going to come over this afternoon. So the door handles were now off. I just have a circle with the lock going this way through the side of the door, that latches into the door frame. And last night at one point, I just closed my bedroom door. I'm like, fuck, I'm fucking locked in. I have no door. I have no door knob. And you need it on the outside first before you can put the inside part on. So yeah, I locked myself in my bedroom. I was rescued later on. It didn't really take that long, and all I had to do is stick a screwdriver into the center and then just give it a little turn, and bam, I was saved. Ah, but that was my Sunday. All right. So if you have any stories you want to share for your weekend, by all means, share them. Let's share the love. All right. So the first card that came up for this week is Take Back Your Power. Take back your power. And the message that comes along with this card, and then we'll see what other messages want to come through. Archangel Raziel. Hey, Frankie Murray, how are you? I'm loving the heart emoji. Thank you. And it's green. So we got that heart chakra going. Archangel Raziel says, use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. And you'll notice wings are widely spread there. Move it back. You guys can both see. And then we have the nice rainbow up at the top. And so like when I think of rainbow, I not only think about Lucky Charms. Ooh, what's this? Be lazy. Be lazy. This is, I'm doing the reading for the week. And so this is for the collective reading. And then I might be meeting a friend to go for a quick walk. So I don't know if I might be able to pull one or two cards for people individually. Okay. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to first start with the collective and then we'll see where the time is at. So, okay. So take back your power, use your God given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. So we are all creators, and some of us don't know that, or maybe we've forgotten that, but we are creators. And you do have the ability to create amazing things in your life. It's also about divine timing, right? It needs to be one step at a time. And things aren't necessarily going to fall into place in the timing that you would like them to fall into place. But we can't, when we're not seeing evidence of getting what we're wanting to create, it doesn't mean that it's not happening. And so we have to find a way to stay in that place of trust moving forward. And so when we're in that place of trust, we are in our power. And so right now I'm being drawn to put my legs shoulder width apart, feet firmly planted on the ground. If you want to do that, it can help you to step into your power and bring your attention to your solar plexus. So that's located below your ribs and above your belly button. It's a spinning wheel of yellow or even golden energy. And this is a center of your confidence, your courage, your willpower. This is you being strong enough to handle whatever you face. And, I explained the whole doorknob thing. And yeah, so I wasn't able to figure out everything. I figured out some things and felt proud about the things that I figured out, but I didn't figure it out at all. But that's okay. It will be resolved. By the end of the day today, it will be resolved. Just like our oven has not been working for a few weeks now. And there was a big delay, just even getting someone to come to our place. And then I needed to get on it and make the call and go to someone else and make it happen. They came over, wrong part, needed a few days to order the part, and then they don't work on the weekend. And then they came back today. That part works, but the oven's still not working. There's another part we need now, and that could take even more time and a whole lot more money. And so trusting in the process of things, and might need to take a different course of action, right? And so we should always be open to maybe creating a shift. So we're going along our paths and we're seeing things as we see them now. But as we continue to get more clarity, we might need to take a little detour or hop on a different path and trust that we're receiving the information in beautiful timing. We're getting the guidance, we're getting the love, we're getting what we need when we actually need it. We might think, no, we need it now. Like, let's just get this done, right? But trusting in the timing will help you to release that stress, because that just creates that stress, that pressure, that build. I want to read what you wrote there. That stress, that pressure, that build up within you, that creates constriction, that slows down the process. And then it makes it more uncomfortable for you, right? And maybe you're having sleepless nights too. And so, yeah, we need to let go. We need to let go and remember the creator that we are. Let me get my glasses so I can read what that says. And I'm going to change the view for myself so I can see it better. Poppy Shoes in the house. Hi. Okay, Be Lazy says, are you an empath by chance? Yeah, I am. So you get this impression. Sorry if that's too personal. No, not at all. Hey, Be Lazy, are you an empath yourself? Were you feeling into my energy? That's not personal at all. I think that's very cool. And yeah, definitely ask questions like that. All right. So the next card, the next message that wants to come up is teaching learning. Archangel Ezekiel, keep an open mind and learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. Teaching and learning. So, oh, yes, you are. Cool. Be lazy. Awesome. So with this particular card and the energy that is coming through right now with it, it's sometimes we're the teacher and sometimes we're the student, and sometimes our ego can get in the way and we're not wanting to accept when we're supposed to be the student. you know? And sometimes it's also because of the type of relationship you might have with certain people that you're like, well, I don't want to hear what you have to say, right? And that is that ego that will come up. Makes me even want to go like this. Like stick out my tongue. It's like bringing that kid type energy of no kind of into it. And that's okay. Like you're not a bad person. And you're not necessarily a child either if we get into that space. Like we can have distortions of perceptions. We can have um visceral reactions to an ongoing pattern that you've been seeing again and again and again that doesn't feel good. And so then when it happens again, it's like, "Ugh, that doesn't feel good, right?" So we can acknowledge that. I mean, we can embrace that. We can embrace for wherever we are at. And I'm going to read that message in a second too. And that will help us to be more open for when we are supposed to be the student and when we're supposed to be the teacher. Because when, let's say, people come to give us advice, sometimes you might even have a pattern of, well, I'm smart enough to figure this out myself, or I have good ideas. And yeah, you do. You do. But the universe can send us messages through all different ways. And sometimes they're sending messages to the people that you connect with. It might be family members that live right within your home. It might be friends that you talk to. It might be someone you meet at the grocery store and they happen to say something. It might be a song you overhear, right? Like you can get messages in so many different ways. So we need to be open to it. And what I like to say is if someone says something to me, and sometimes, you might get advice and you didn't even ask for it, right? And that can be like, that can throw you off a little bit. Maybe not. It can be different for each and every one of us. But let's say that's your story. Then what I like to say is, well, let me sit with that. Thank you so much for your advice, for your feedback. I need to sit with it because it's okay that you need to make sure it feels good for you. And at the end you might get to a point where like, all right, at the beginning I think I was shut down from that suggestion, but I'm going to give it a try, or it does actually feel kind of good now. And then in other times they'd be like, nope, that still does not feel good. And you don't need to go forward with that, with taking their advice. And then sometimes they need to go through their own shit and have that little pity party and be the victim, and or not. But sometimes people need to go through their own shit because you're like, is my idea is not good enough for you? Right? And so let them be okay with whatever shit comes up, because we all have patterns. We're all going to have stuff coming up, and we need to be okay with what's coming up so we can work through it. Happy I caught you after work, was about to listen to meditation. Oh, okay, cool, Papa Shoe. What kind of meditation are you doing? Are you going to do a guided meditation or listening to meditation music and take yourself through one? Do you have an intention for the meditation, like what you're wanting to get out of it, where you want to go with it? Taj is in the house. What are we reading? We are reading oracle cards right now. So far, the two cards that I pulled up is Take Back Your Power. So remembering the manifester that you are. And then the next card was Teaching and Learning. So we need to, so far about this card, I've been talking about how we need to be open for the messages that other people provide us. But also we need to be conscious of those thoughts that pop in and what you're inspired to share with someone else. Because sometimes something can come up and you want to share it, but you're like, oh, what is that going to be right? Are they going to be okay with it? Am I going to offend them? Like sometimes all that kind of stuff can come up. But if it comes up and initially it's like, oh, that feels important to share, then go with that. We're all very different, but sometimes when that happens for me, I might say, so something came to mind, and I like to share it if you're okay with me sharing it, but if you're not wanting any type of advice or anything like that, and you can take it or leave it, right? But something popped into my head for you. And if they know me that I'm an empath and I channel messages and everything, they might be more open to it. But if it's a friend relationship too, Sometimes our judgments can come up a little easier on a friend basis because you know their whole story and you see their patterns and all that. So I also might be take it with a grain of salt, right? Because I want to make sure, like, if it doesn't feel right for you, just throw it away. Okay. So we also, whenever we're taking in information and choosing whether it's right for us, that's our responsibility, is deciding whether it resonates or whether it doesn't. And that's using your intuitive guidance. So because we all have that intuitive guidance system. So this week, really pay attention to the thoughts that come in, the and what you feel like sharing, and how you feel when people give you information. Sit with stuff, allow it to process, maybe journal. And there's one more card that wants to come out. Okay. So, Taj, your advice for the young. Um, that's really wide open. any any particular area in your life you'd like to focus on? Poppy shoe. Oh, okay. You know what, Taj? What I'm going to say is, um, love yourself. So, advice for the young, I'm going to say, love yourself for all that you are, because embrace where you are in your learning journey. You're not meant to know it all. And wherever you are at and however you react to situations, you got to embrace yourself for where you're at. But then always be open for how we can create more ease and flow in our life and more ease and flow in relationships. We need to learn from our experiences. Okay, so Poppy Shoe says, yeah, guided ones, relax, mind after work, not stress after work, get breathing and nice sounds. Oh, that sounds awesome, Poppy Shoe. Enjoy. I hardly be lazy. I hardly ask permission first before sharing what I compel to say, unless it's deeply personal. Bad habit of mine. I should work on that. You know what? I totally get that. Be lazy, because sometimes I'm like, "Ugh, I just gotta, I gotta say this," and then afterwards I might be like, "Oh, they might not have wanted that. If they, yeah." So I thought it was a bad habit for me. So I don't do it all the time, but I try to ask for permission first. Do you want me to share? Even if it's a really close friend, because sometimes they're not in this space. Like, I have this one friend that just sometimes just needs to rant. She just needs to get it all out. And if I were to say, well, look on the bright side, you know, it is going to be really positive, because of like, they might not be ready for shit like that, right? Like, sometimes you just need to be angry, and you need to allow that energy to flow before you're ready to be open to something. So that's just another example too. They're not always angry. What does that say? Okay, so Taj says, advice for consciousness. Um, meditation. So if you can meditate regularly, even if it's just 10 minutes of like 10-15 minutes of like closing your eyes and just concentrating on your breathing and just working on clear the mind space, just practicing that would be really good. And Intuition Wednesday, which is the same time I do this, but on Wednesdays, it is a really good opportunity to keep practicing using your five senses to take in the information. All right. So we have another card. What does that say? What do you think about Osho? Blitz Carlton, I feel like I should know what Osho is, and it sounds really familiar, but I have no clue. I think you're going to have to give me more information about Osho. Okay, be lazy. Mindfulness is great for consciousness. Yeah. Yeah. You even take a mindfulness workshop. I I took a weekend mindfulness workshop before, and we couldn't talk the whole time we were there. Like, it was no talking. We did go home in the evenings, but it wasn't a retreat. So we'd come back, but there was no talking. And we weren't even supposed to talk at lunch, even though we could be around each other. You still couldn't talk. And it was really, and then we did all these various meditations. We did a seated meditation, a lying down meditation, a walking meditation, an eating meditation. So even consciously eating your food, we took a raisin and it took us 30 minutes to eat one raisin, like, and that's really practicing your consciousness, living in the now. It was first like smelling the raisin, and then it was like feeling it between your fingers. What was the texture like? Maybe gently rolling it between your finger and thumb, and again, smelling it. Maybe just licking it just a little bit and getting a little bit of the sweetness on your tongue, and then putting it on your tongue and allowing it to melt there a little bit. So it was a long process and it was the best fucking raisin I've ever had. So you can even practice conscious eating. Okay. Okay, so I'm at Taj, and then I'll keep moving down. Okay, so Vivid, I'll read your stuff too, and Blitz Carlton. Okay, how to deal with the anxiety regarding education and workplace competition? That's a great question. Well, worrying about school or worrying about getting a job doesn't help anything. Is that who's in the house? Oh, hello, hello. Um, yeah, worrying, it doesn't help. And it can actually create more constriction. So that easier said than done. We'll just stop worrying, right? But I'm saying this for a reason. Um, being keeping yourself in that anxiety state is not going to help you to move forward. If you can work on simply being in trust that the universe has your back and that you will be guided and things will open up for you that are meant for you, that are in alignment with you. So if you practice being in a happy space and making choices that make your heart sing, and doing meditation and breath work and maybe yoga to help you to be able to center and ground and have focus. It helps with your clarity of thought. It helps you to be able to bring in information from your five senses, including your intuitive information, right? It helps you to be a clear channel. And then you can take one step at a time to get you towards where you're meant to get to. The worrying just creates constriction, which stops the energy flow. And so it will take longer to come to you. So I hope that helps. Okay. I want to be a yoga guy. Oh, I gotta read the one above that first, and then I like your glasses and ponytail comb. Oh, thanks, Vivid. And this is a mess up here. It's just a rat's nest. I need to brush it out. That's what will be happening after. Okay, so I want to be a yoga guy. Do I have to give up on soul gratification? Because that would be hard. No, I don't. You don't have to do anything. You know, yoga, just like a religion, yoga, depending on this type of yoga you learn and where you learn it from, who you learn it from, there's always going to be some parameters, some guidelines that, these are kind of the rules, right? But I believe you can make any of it your own. You know, for me, I used to practice, I used to belong to the Catholic Church, right? And my family didn't. I asked to be baptized and confirmed, and I went by myself every Sunday just because I believed there was something bigger and everything. But I got to the point where I'm like, this is too constricting, all these rules, and I'm not worthy of shit. And I have to beg for to be forgiven. Like it didn't feel good for me. But for other people, it can be a really good match. It can be a match that helps you to feel safe. So I think it's important to create a practice for yourself that helps you to feel safe in whatever works for you. So for me, I can't be in a box, right? And so if certain aspects of, let's say, doing yoga doesn't work for me, then I'm not going to do them. And I am going to, just like yoga has evolved, yoga has evolved from the creation of it, and it within India. The modern practices can be very different, and it's okay. Like, we need things to evolve, and each of us will be drawn to the form or the format or the outline, let's say, that works for us. So create something that works for you. I'm allergic to raisins. Oh no. Well, then don't do it with a raisin. I'm so sorry you're allergic to raisins. Maybe you can do it with a chocolate. Taj, could you tell me the simplest meditation for mind? The simplest meditation, I would say, just breathing. And you can even do belly breathing, just lying there and breathing. As you breathe in, the belly expands. As you breathe out, the belly collapses. Breathing in, breathing out. So you can just simply do that. Another thing I like to do is start up. So I'll be concentrating on my breathing and start at my toes and get my toes to fully relax. And then bring my attention slowly going up the body until everything is just melting down, either on the mat or on your bed or wherever you're at. Maybe you're seated, and just have everything fully relax. You meant sexual gratification. Yeah, you don't need to stop that. I think that part is really important. I know there's different viewpoints out there, but if you're not ready to do that, you shouldn't do that. Do what works for you. Do you. And apparently that's what you want to do, anyways, right? My fingers get swollen even from one raisin. Oh, man. Yeah, you got to stay away from those raisins, man. Be lazy. I love your energy. Thanks. Well, I love yours too. I can feel your energy through your words, and it's wonderful. You know who I think has mastered yoga? David Blaine, the magician. He is the guy that stayed in ice water for 5 days. That takes massive concentration. Wow. Was he really in there for 5 days? Inquire minds want to know. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. All right, so we have one more card here, and this one was upside down. Indigo crystal children. This came up again last. It came up last week too. Archangel Metatron. Unless it just came up for me. Maybe it just came up for me in my own reading. That might have been it. Archangel Metatron. You have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. Let's get it over here too. Could have it in both. Yeah. So with this card coming up, you in some way will impact, or you have an opportunity this weekend to impact children. So whether you have children yourself or whether you'll just be interacting with someone else's children, really be conscious of the way you communicate with them and be really open to hearing them. Allow them to talk, allow them to be themselves, to open up their energy. Because your energy this week will be in perfect harmony for creating the next phase of healing of these children that are so high vibrational. It's helping them to integrate the new vibrational energy that has entered in, and they are the first high vibrational souls to bring it in. So they are already high vibe, which means they are already the closest to being ready to integrate this very much crystalline energy. So we've been having this diamond like energy coming in. I've been seeing it in different meditations and healing sessions and some live streams, right? I've been seeing it coming in. And this is like the next level up. And by you being more grounded, oh, we lost the feed on Reddit. By you being more grounded than they are, because they are, the younger that they are, more connected and up here they are, you're going to help them to integrate it through just by being that, um The word they're using is conduit. And so it's almost like that rod for lightning, and that is anchored down. So you're like the anchor as the energy is streams in. I hope this makes sense to you, and if it doesn't, I guess don't worry about it. But it's just you being you and talking to them and being open. It's like you're creating that grounded energy for them to integrate the energy coming in and bring it through into their bodies, and helping them to feel safe, right? Like they need to feel safe. And so that's part of your role this week to do that. I think there's also some double meanings for some of you too, because I feel like some of you will, if you're not already, will start working for children. So, or with children. So something will open up this week. There'll be a clear step that needs to be taken, or like an action that needs to be taken, a response that needs to happen. And so just simply pay attention to what presents, and it will be fine, right? Like it's not that you have to go, I gotta figure this out. No, no, it will happen. And just having this heads up is cool, because then you can be extra conscious with it, and it will help you yourself in preparation to raise your vibration up. So children will also be helping you to raise your vibration. So soon you will be ready to bring in this new high vibrational crystalline energy, rainbow energy too. So I'm seeing, at first I was just seeing the crystals, but I'm seeing it now coming down in all the colors of the rainbow and integrating beautifully into all of our chakras. And it's like settling in, and it's like getting the chakras going, vibrating higher. It's like it's souping them up. It's like um we have apps on our phone, and when you get that upgrade to improve the speed of that, to improve the interconnectedness of all the different features and everything. So that's in essence what will be happening. So that's pretty cool. So that is it. So those of you who are watching on YouTube, because we pooped out on Reddit there, those of you who are watching on YouTube, do any of you want to pull a card before I wrap this up? Because I can pull a card for you. Anyone? I'm just going to dance while I'm waiting, just to see if there's, because it could be a time delay. So I hope you all have a beautiful week. And by the way, I have one spot available on Thursday evenings for one-on-one yoga, so private sessions, or it could also be for couples or even for your family. So it's whether it's online or if you're local, it can be in person. But Thursday evenings, I do have a spot available if you're available, if you are okay. Or if you're interested, if you're okay. I don't know where I'm going with that. So I think I waited long enough. I don't think anyone's interested in me pulling the cards for them. If you are interested in a one-on-one session, maybe a channel reading, healing session, or yoga, you can send me a message. You can visit my website, thejoyfulyogini.ca, and I have a contact page there, so you can connect with me that way, or even on my Instagram, the.joyful.yogini, and all my social media. Links are in my link tree, which is located within my bio, or you can also send me a message on Instagram as well. Have a wonderful week, and hopefully we'll see you on Wednesday for Intuition Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lately, I've been about 5 minutes late, so I'll try to be as close to that timing as possible. From my light to your beautiful, kick-ass, amazing, sexy-ass light, namaste. Have a great day. Bye.